Good morning, I'm here at the Tuas Link area heading out to the Singapore Rail Test Centre. Yes, I've been there before, but this time they're going to let us up close to something way ahead of everybody else. And that will be this, the new Cross Island Line train, also known as the CRRC Qingdao Sifang CR151. A very long name, but yes, this is it. But first, we were treated with a special CRL-related announcement from Minister for Transport Jeffrey Xiao.
Today, I'm happy to unveil the plans for Phase 3, final stage of the Cross Island Line. I'm told I'm not allowed to say the names of the stations. No names yet. Nowadays, we don't put the names out because people get unhappy if I change the name later. But at least one, I think should be called Qingdao Circle. I think that's fair, right? You use that name, right? Okay.
So yes, they unveiled how the CRL will interchange with the East-West line at Qingdao Circle, so we can finally officially debunk rumours and say that the unused platforms at Qingdao Circle are not for the CRL. But now, for the main event. The CRL train is right in front. I just find myself not able to stop saying holy shit, but I have to bleep that out.
Let's give them a big hand, everyone. 3, 2, 1. Congratulations as we welcome the new Cross Island Line train.
You are officially the first ones on the new train.
Yeah, it's so happy.
4 years ahead of everybody else. This light, right?
Yes.
It reminds me of the Piccadilly Line 2024 stop. They also got a ring light around the red post. So a while back, I saw the mock-up at the Healthy headquarters, which they were trying to survey the type of seats and the amenities for the train. But seeing now the real thing in the flesh, it still doesn't. No words can quite cut it. Yeah. Well, they're not letting us to the rest of the carriage, so we got to turn back. Matthew, what's your impression?
Very nice.
Any particular feature that you really like?
I like the design of the light fixture on the ceiling.
Yeah,
It's got this additional accent lights.
Yeah.
I think it's quite unique.
I also like this too, even though it feels a bit superfluous, it doesn't feel like it serves a practical purpose, right? But it just makes the train look so much more nicer.
When they first did the Cross Island Line mock-up, right?
Yeah.
You could vote on the design you wanted. This was one of the designs that was a part of the vote, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people actually wanted the lights. I personally voted for it also.
There is one thing that I'm quite curious about, but we won't be able to see it today because the train will not be moving, is how the comfort levels or the sound levels will be, because I thought that sometimes the Thomson line, because the trains have 5 doors, it might be a bit noisier, or some people might say the noise because of the curvature of the track. But this is something that I hope it will not be that noisy because of this the way that it's designed. But we did find out that the doors have a micro plug door mechanism, which means the doors will move slightly inwards when it closes, which may go some ways in reducing noise levels. For me, these windows look a little bit more narrow than I would have liked. They are a little bit more aligned to the sides, which is not a design preference that I would like, but I would prefer something that's a bit more centralized. It may remind some people of the Siemens second gen trains. Well, seat-wise, I feel they are just about the same as the TEL.
It's definitely quite comfortable. I feel like it's similar to the seats that you on the Northeast Line and Circle Line. Quite similar.
But smaller a bit.
Smaller actually.
These gangways are supposedly wider than the ones on the other trains. I was told it was 1.6 meter. The older one was 1.4. So yeah, they're wider than what you expect.
Also feels very different from other Singapore trains currently.
Except maybe the TEL, because it's the same form factor as the
I
TEL.
would say it's like R151 and TEL together almost.
I agree with you, because you were saying that the way the walls are like slanted and the angled way, it does feel like a R151 in some sense. The train door has been opened. They open the detrainment doors. Can we go there and see? So that's how the detrainment door looks like. Finally, it will be remiss not to mention that the CRL will be the second MRT line after the Northeast line to be electrified with overhead conductor rail rather than the third rail used on other lines. And so that is the brand new Cross Island Line train that's coming to the Cross Island Line, hopefully in 2030 if everything goes smoothly. Hope you enjoyed this little preview. Thanks for watching, see you next time. Just for a trainer, I always wondered how high an MRT platform will be. That's your answer.